an aura clearing reading for Time Will Tell. And I asked about the code name because I was not really getting anything regarding what the code name meant. But of course, your guide just says time will tell what the code name means. I used my selenite when I surrounded myself and then you in the positive energy so that I could connect with your guides, or perhaps maybe one guide, perhaps only one guide. But I do have one guide coming in right now, right away. Came in pretty much as soon as I was surrounding us in the energy during. She came up. I think this is a she. Anyway, it feels like a she. But for some reason, I don't know if she's coming in with a second male guide and I'm just not, he's just not stepping up where I can really kind of feel him intensely, or if for some reason she feels a little bit androgynous. And there's something really unique about her energy that I'm not really pinpointing immediately right now, because I'm thinking it feels angelic, but then there's something off about it being angelic in a sense. I think maybe she is angelic, but she might be from like a very specific planet or something like this, and yet still be like on an angelic frequency, and that may be part of the energy that I'm feeling. I'm not 100% sure yet. Okay, so where do I start here? What do you want me to begin with? Okay, so I'm just going to begin with my crystals as usual. So I have my Isis statue here, so her energy is going to be present during this reading. Obviously my selenite wand. I also have my crystal quartz wand and my intensionite. And so we definitely have some clearing energies coming in, as well as some higher energies coming in and some angelic energy coming in. That's what the white represents for me. Usually, maybe it just represents one of those things, like an angelic frequency or higher energy or clearing. In this case, it really feels like all three. It does feel like a higher energy, specifically representing that also, because I do have some crystals here that specifically are for grounding. And so we kind of have those balancing energies going on. Okay, get to that in a second. All right, so then I have my pyramid and my citrine. And a lot of times these represent like personal power, especially the citrine, personal power, strength, things like this. But I'm definitely feeling from it like a masculine kind of energy. And when I went in to get the code name, okay, I'll get to that later. All right. She wants things set in a specific order. So this is my peacock ore. That's the last crystal. No. I also have my, I have two other crystals here. So this is my peacock ore, and this is very good for grounding as well. And it's also, it represents every chakra because of all the colors. And so it can be used for any chakra and specifically cleansing them out. Okay, and there's something with a past life thing going on too, that peacock ore I think is supposed to help cleanse. Okay, so there's something in one of the chakras that has to do with some past lives, so we'll get to that. So this is my malachite and this is my zoisite. Again, these two are very good for grounding. And they also have kind of an earth energy with them. That explains why they're good for grounding. And also this one is specifically good for psychic protection as well. And there's a lot of healing energies with a lot of these different stones going on. All right, and then protection also with Isis. There's more energy of psychic protection coming up, and then a general protection as well. And I'm almost feeling part of the reason that this female guide wanted me to have the Isis statue during the reading is almost in a way reflecting her a bit, even though she's not like coming in with an Isis energy. She doesn't really have an Isis energy specifically, but she does have wings and she is very protective. And I do feel like she is very protective of you, or she would want to be. It's both. I feel like she's very protective of you, but she would also want to, in some ways, be able to extend her protection over you a bit more. Because there are some kind of chaotic energies going around, and it's almost, I almost get a sense that her energy almost bumps into those, and because you're agreeing with those energies rather than hers in certain areas, certain aspects of your life and your energy field, it's almost like her energy can't pass through those places. Okay, so we're going to work on clearing that a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and get to some of these questions, which I haven't really read in a little while. I never like beginning the reading if I have read the questions very recently. I like to kind of clear my head and then come back to the questions if I need to later. Okay, so I'm starting with question 3, but I almost have kind of definitely beginning anyway with answering. It's kind of an indirect response, it feels like, which guides sometimes really like to do. Because they like to talk about what they want to talk about and also address roots of things for the person. Okay, but one thing coming in, this actually came in when I was getting the code name, and this was like the first thing that came in. It came in right away from your guide, which had to do with expectations. Whoa. There's this feeling on my chest, almost like I just want to take this sigh, like I want to breathe really, really heavy. Oh, okay. Almost like a letdown, like, and she's talking about expectations, like, almost like you allow your expectations to be almost overly high about things, and then you almost have this overreaction. And so she's saying that you need to almost bring this down a bit and try and see things from an angle where it's almost, she's almost giving me the sense that everything is like one emotion in a way, like everything is neutral, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's almost some of both. It's like it's all neutral. And so in a sense, it's like even keeled or even tempered. And so she's saying it's balance. It's almost in a way like a balance of positive and negative, or good and bad feelings. But she's saying, in a sense, it's not. It's none of those. It's neutral. and learning to see things from the angle of neutrality, where nothing bad is really bad, but also nothing high is like almost over the top, or like you would want to shout about it. You would want to get overly emotional or really excited. And she's saying that you are really emotional. You are like an emotionally like responsive kind of person. Like you respond with your emotions. She's saying like reactions. She's saying. So she's talking about having something very neutral. And she's saying that it's like something makes you kind of up and then something makes you kind of down. But also, again, she's talking about expectations, like you expect something to almost explode you into this really high feeling, and it doesn't. And then it's almost, it, it's almost like it gives you a sadness, is the feeling that she's giving me, or almost even kind of like a depression, like just a downer kind of emotion. But she's saying that it has to do with what you're expecting. When you're expecting something really, really, really good, but she's saying, um, like, if you were to think of this in a law of attraction way, like a lot of people would think, oh, you should expect something really good and then you'll get something really good. But the way she's saying it is almost like in the back of your mind, kind of back there, there's this belief that this is really going to plummet you. It's not really going to make you feel fulfilled or that happy. And so that belief is there. And that is going to manifest things. What you think about subconsciously will manifest you and consciously, she's saying. But predominantly, when you're really excited about something and think it's going to go well, predominantly these kind of thoughts, like maybe it's not going to go well, maybe this is going to happen, maybe I'm going to fall flat on my face, kind of thoughts and feelings. What? She's giving me the word synchronicity. Almost like I'm thinking this is going to go really, really well. And synchronistically, almost it doesn't. Almost like, almost like jinxing it in a way is the feeling that I get. Almost like, yeah, it's going to be a really sunny day today. It's just going to shine the whole day and not rain at all. Boom, it's raining, thunder, lightning. When you thought it was going to be this really great experience and you said it out loud. And she's saying if you have this belief in the back of your head, it's almost like it undoes it, because she's actually saying that you don't realize sometimes when you have like a false excitement and then you jinx something because you're saying something out of the wrong energy. Like you have this expectant, she's saying hope. It's like an expectant hope, but at the same time, it's like you know that really the opposite is going to happen, and that belief is there, and you're still saying it out of this belief. And she is calling this a negative hope too, almost this excited hope, which she's calling a false excitement. She's saying it's like this false excitement brings a negative hope, and you feel like all kind of up with having this excitement, like she said, which is false. It's not like a true high or a true excitement, even though it can mask itself that way. So she's saying that part of it is learning to discern the difference between a true high and a false high, or a positive high and a negative high. And one thing she's saying about it is that a real high doesn't feel explosive, or it doesn't feel anxious, and it doesn't make you feel fearful. And you might not always consciously understand that the excitement is coded in a fear, but if it feels anxious or explosive, then it's not coming from a calm place. So she's saying that the difference is like a calm excitement versus an explosive or even just anxious excitement. And she's saying that it really is about learning to be calm, or she's saying neutral. She's saying that it doesn't mean that you feel nothing, but it means that it's almost like you feel something almost to a bit of a less degree is the feeling that I get. Like it's not so explosive one way or the other. It's not such a deep feeling. But she's also saying that in order to get this ability to feel neutrally, you have to well, she's just saying that you have to calm down. So one thing she's saying is diet when it comes to things like sugar, anything that can affect like your hormones or affect your body in a way where like sugar, something like sugar or caffeine, something like this, it can affect your emotions. So any food, I almost get the feeling of just what you're eating. Some things you're probably going to be able to see instantly. Okay, this might cause this or that, or you might get a feeling of it. But I also get a feeling of even like actually look into some of the things that you're eating and see if they can have this type of effect. Because she is giving me a feeling that some of this is diet, and some things can be reduced by diet. So that's even another thing to kind of look up, like what can help your body with that, what specific foods could help you with that. But I almost get the feeling like she doesn't want to overload you with like a bunch of specific steps. Like you're asking here, like what can I do? Like, in all these different ways. This is question 3. But what can I do in all these? Actually, she's saying this is some of the other questions too, or this is helping with some of the other questions too. But almost like what can you do to improve in all these different ways? But she is really giving me the feeling that the core thing has to do with these expectations, and it has to do with it almost feels like mood swings. It almost feels like going up and going down, or even like allowing yourself to like falsely hope that you can be up, but at the same time know that you're going to be down. So she wants you to, like she said, view things neutrally and not have an expectation about anything, basically. Okay, so question 1. Okay, so since you ordered the other reading as well, I'm kind of getting a feeling from her that some of this she'll answer a little bit more in some of the other readings, but I definitely feel like she does want me to do to go ahead and do some clearing. Um, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do some clearing now. I might get back to some reading also. Okay. Which crystal am I starting with? This one. Okay. So I have my crystal quartz here. Okay. So when I was getting the code name, one of the blocked areas was right up here over your crown chakra. You also had a block on your right side. Or hold on, is that the left side? Actually, no, I think that was, yeah, that was, wait a minute. I just totally did a left-right thing. No, that is the that is the right side. Yeah, this is my right arm. Okay. I don't know what I just did. All right. So on your right side, this was blocked also, like blocked when it came to manifesting and okay, you know what? No, this makes sense because yeah, question one, you're talking about life path, life purpose, and you had a block here at the crown chakra, and you have a block on the right side. Okay, right, that completely makes sense. Well, this is kind of weird, but at the same time that she was just speaking about like kind of almost explosive emotions that make you feel like excited on the one hand, and they can also make you almost feel kind of depressed on the other. Now, at the same time, I'm seeing this picture, whew, like some kind of cord around your neck, and it's like it's being yanked like this, and so it almost feels like you're choking or something. And then I'm seeing the movie The Matrix, and it's that scene where Neo, he's in that room, and you know that scene where they're calling him Mr. Anderson, those robots, and he's put on this table, and then this weird thing happens to his mouth, um, and they tell him that he can't speak, and his lips just turn like all gooey, like this weird liquid, and then they just are shut, like they're shut together, and it's like he just has this skin where his lips would have been. He doesn't have lips anymore, and so he's like unable to speak, and then this I think this could be a thought form that I'm seeing. But so she's showing me it, well then I'm getting a feeling. This is more a feeling. But I'm seeing this almost mummy looking thing, but then I get this feeling of almost like things being contained like inside. So on the one hand, she's talking about these like almost being over emotional, where things like let you down and this type of thing. But then on the other hand, there's this feeling almost like you can't express. You can't speak, you can't express, you can't let something out that is bothering you. So almost like a containment. And I get the feeling from her almost like until you get rid of this expectation thing, and feel like you can express. So that's one of the things. But this other thing is just feel like you can express. And I get the feeling from her like you can express in a quiet way. So I really get the feeling from her like almost like she's saying that in some ways, question one, like in some ways that's not really her focus or her priority. It's more you being calm and almost filtering through these thoughts and these emotions. Okay. I also get the feeling from her as far as you're talking about these uh, these images you're getting and you can't understand like 95% of them because of the way that they're coming in. This is like she's saying it's like when you are suppressing a lot of things and then you give them a chance to come out because you are meditating, but at the same time almost like you're not going to the root of them, then it's like they want to just come out in this jumble of just stuff. So it's just like this overload of stuff that needs to be let out. So she's saying that if your mind is emptier, not just your mind, if your energy field is quieter, you can hear better. And if you're emptier, then more can be given to you. So you're very overloaded with like burdens. A lot of this has to do with like sustained thoughts. Some of it's subconscious, some of it's conscious, but some of it I do get the feeling is definitely subconscious. So it's beliefs. But I do get a feeling that you are aware of it consciously. Like you're aware of a lot of your beliefs consciously, so like you agree with them. Like you do expect things to fail consciously. She's saying, so that isn't fully subconscious. I do feel like it kind of started subconsciously, but it grew, and that's what thought forms do. They like take more and more hold because of the energy that you give them. So she's saying that her priority is really and that this should be your priority. Like she's saying one of your main priorities should really be cleanse all of this, cleanse these toxins out from your emotional field. And she's saying specifically your emotional field, your emotional expression, because she's saying that you're not at peace. She's saying that flat out. She's repeating it. She's saying you are not at peace. She's saying until you are at peace, you cannot really manifest what you want. You can't really manifest a peaceful experience, a peaceful outcome that will really benefit you until you are still, until you are calmer. And she's saying that this is outward, but this is also inward. So she's saying instead of meditating and trying to get specific things at first, she's saying try and let go. But she's also saying, so there she's kind of talking about expectations. Just let go of feeling like you need to do something, or like get something, not do something, because she is saying something to do, but like get something specific. But she's saying at first, she's saying just hear me out, just for a little while, or even just during the first, like maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes, even 5 minutes, she's saying, of meditating. At first, she's saying if you can't let go of this need yet to really, really get clarity and really this drive to get something specific, then she's saying that that's okay, but she is saying to hear her out and to at least add this, because she's saying that it'll go a little better, it'll flow a little better. And she's saying to focus. It's almost like taking this stuff and just releasing it. She's saying that it needs to go somewhere. She's saying, like, you can see, like, in your mind, like pieces of paper, and you write down different things on them, different emotions on them, or situations on them, and you crumple them up and put them in a garbage can. And see that the garbage can goes off into space somewhere. And she's giving this as an example. She's not even saying do this specific one, but she's saying that you get her idea. Put it somewhere. And she's saying, and try to feel neutrally. So try to feel empty. She's also saying, and like practice, this sounds a little bit interesting, kind of weird. She's saying to like practice when you're meditating. Another thing you could do is like actually practice feeling like your energy is actually getting thinner. Because she's saying, or emptier, because she's saying that right now it's really thick. Like it's not like thin, almost just like silk or something. It's like thick, like a wool. She's saying like it's just thick with all these toxins and things, and these emotions. A lot of held on to emotions and emotional expression. And she's saying regret, fear, longing. She's saying loneliness, anger. So she's saying a lot of different emotions, but she's also saying positive emotions too, joy. And she's saying that you need to empty it out. She's also saying that it might come through you emotionally. You might start crying or something. You might get really angry. You might feel these things. You might feel happy. And she's saying that that's all fine, that would be normal. Or she's saying you might feel very empty, you might feel very neutral. Which she's saying, which means that you are really clearing some things out. She's also saying that you might have some reactions to this. Some of them, she said, will be good, but some of them, when your emotional body is releasing this stuff at first, it might have a reaction. Okay, so more clearing. Okay. And when I'm doing the clearing, I'm just doing a visualization, and I am just seeing like positive energy, and I usually use like a crystal to help me. So I'll probably end up using some of my other crystals also. And also I'm getting information as I'm doing it. So it's not really just me clearing you during the reading. It's also me getting info on like how your guides are saying to proceed when it comes to you clearing your own energy field. So not only me. Okay, so right now I'm at the top of the head. So I'm at the crown chakra. And this is going down into the forehead too, going down like into the third eye. Trying to remember, all of a sudden I got a vague memory. I think you said something about your forehead or something in one of the emails that you sent. I'm not sure. It could be a completely different area that you mentioned. It could be chest or something. I don't know. That's so weird. All of a sudden I have a virus detected on my computer. Okay. That is so strange. It's weird timing, okay? Whew. So I'm bumping into something. That's why I'm like jerking like this. The crystal, the energy from the crystal is going up above your head here, and it's just, or actually here because it's on the right side. Your guide also is standing on your right. And at the same time, she's kind of bilocating here because she's standing by you, but then I also feel her here with me. And so this is bumping into something here. It almost felt like a wall, like an energy wall. And then your guide is coming up a bit more and sending her energy. And then I start seeing this thought form. And this thought form is kind of coming up above your head here where I can see it. And it's very small. Like it looks like this little baby. And so it's like you developed this like from when you were a baby. Babies, it's not like you're thinking with words here. So this thought form gives a feeling. This is a feeling, but this feeling felt what's the word? Almost like you're left alone. That's what it feels like. There's this feeling of being left alone in this thought form. Now, that doesn't mean that at this time that was the only thing that you were feeling, but you definitely were feeling that as you created this thought form. And there's this feeling like it doesn't want to be left alone. It feels very fragile. It's new, it's just coming into the world. So it's very fragile. And in some ways, it feels deprived, this thought form. So in a sense, we can say this part of you, even though the thought form isn't you, but you then, part of you felt deprived. There was a deprived feeling that you created this thought form from. And this thought form is still with you. It's still weird. So now it's almost like you're deprived of information. Like it can take on different ways that you're deprived. Now it's not just, parental care or something, or like a mother's love or something like this. Now it's not some like something that you're craving from your parents that this part of you feels like you're not getting. Now it is like depriving you in other ways, like it's feeling deprived in other ways. It doesn't have the information that it needs or the health that it needs, or these things that you're asking about, but also other things too. It's just like, in what areas do you feel like you lack something? Like you are like you're deprived, but hearing some weird word in my head. I don't know if I'm getting this word right or what this means. Oh, oops, I had some music. The music's still going here from when I created the circle. Deprivation. That was the word she was sending. The damaging lack of material benefits considered to be basic necessities. The lack or denial of something considered to be a necessity. So there were some things that this part of you felt like you really needed that you were not getting. But now this thought form, it's like it can't survive in that way. It can't survive exactly in the same way now that you're an adult. So now, how can it grow? How can it keep feeding off of your energy? How will it cause you to keep agreeing with it? Not really cause you. It's just sending you a feeling, but how will you? Yeah, I'm getting that feeling. It's not causing you to agree with it. You're just agreeing with it. But it's figured out how you'll do that. Like it can try other areas. Maybe you won't agree with it as well in those areas. So you'll agree with it better when it comes to certain things that it can send you this feeling of being deprived with. Okay, but there's this deprivation thought form, but she's saying that this also goes along with this expectation thought form as well, and this jinxing thought form. Okay, so this is like a group. This is a thought form group. It's gotta be. Yeah, okay, she's nodding. She's saying there's 5. There's 5 of them. She's saying there's 5 thought forms. They're in a group. They're causing one thing. But mainly she's saying that it has to do with lack. She's saying whether it's lack of purpose, it's lack of emotional fulfillment and emotional needs, whether it's lack of necessities. And some of this, it's like it can start off one way and then it like adapts, because you're not going to, like I said, agree with it in a certain way anymore, but you'll agree with it in this way. So it can send you that and almost like test the waters. So you have this one thought form, and it's a simple programming. It's not thinking up, a ton of things. It's not evolved enough to think on its own yet. And it started off as a feeling. This was when you were a baby. This was when you couldn't really think with words, maybe with pictures, but you weren't really thinking with words. You were thinking mainly with feelings, and this is a feeling. But it works with others in this group that can send some specific programmed reason, like a programmed response to the feeling. So she's saying that sometimes this feeling comes up and it's just there for no reason, and you have these other thought forms that will just give you what the reason is. The reason is this. The reason is that I lack this. I lack that. But she's saying to understand that these are thought forms. This is a thought form. It isn't you. And this lack of expression, this is one of them too. This suppression, or feeling like you can't get out emotionally. She's also saying that all these thought forms, these 5 thought forms. So she's saying this group, she says we're just going to call them the group. So this group, she's saying they're in your emotional body. And she's saying that they work together to feed you something and in turn get fed. And she's saying that you created them, but it's almost like a parasite. Like you can have a parasite in your body. You can have a worm or something, and it craves something. And then as a response, you eat the wrong thing. So it's like agreeing with a worm inside of yourself. And then you feed it and it gets bigger. And it keeps sending you that. It keeps telling you you need to drink or eat this certain thing. And she's using this as a for instance. So she's not like saying your physical body is full of worms or something. I mean, that is possible. People can have worms and parasites and things, but just to clarify, she is specifically talking, she's using this as a for instance. She's talking about these thought forms and how they can feel like you're feeling. It can feel like you're feeling or your thought. Just like if you have a parasite or a worm in your stomach and it's craving something, and it's kind of like emitting this, giving this energy of like, I need this thing, I need you to eat this thing or drink this thing, people will just think, I want to do this thing. They don't understand that this is something separate from them that's living in their stomach. They don't understand that. And these, on the other hand, this is something that you created. And it's just like this simple programming. So a parasite is a really good way to put it. It's just this simple programming. One gives you a feeling, and one gives you a thought, a single thought to go along with it. And so it's like, as a group, they can make more sentences because they're very unevolved. If you were very evolved, you could speak in a hell of a lot of sentences, and you wouldn't really need buddies around you that can end the sentence for you or start it for you to like finish off the thought, or to give a feeling with the thought, or give a picture with the feeling or with the thought. And she's going back into this thing that you said about the images. How there are just these different images that almost don't go together or make sense. And she's saying that in a way, this would almost be like that on its own. It's like it can't form a whole sentence, but with these others, they can make sentences that actually make apparent sense. Apparent, she's using this word. She's saying that this is going to become apparent to you, that you have these, that these are there when you stop and you create this separation. She's saying then you're going to start feeling them, feeling this vibration as separate from you. And then they'll decrease, because she's saying that right now you think it's you, like it's yours. So she doesn't want you to own it, to own these thoughts or these feelings and this like stuckness, she's saying. So again, she's saying that you have to let that go. But she's saying that this is through like really intense releasing through the emotional body. Because there are things that are stuck in there. For some reason, she's saying that she's saying that meditation will almost help with the start of it, and visualizing through meditation, also being neutral, like she talked about. But I can feel there's some things she's not going to tell me about how to clear this. Some things you have to realize on your own. Some of the answers are going to come from within you, and it has to be that way. So there's some things that she's not going to tell me. This throat thing, though, this goes back to a past life. She's bringing this up again. Okay, well, I just switched my my quartz with my pyramid, and then I'm thinking, randomly, is there anything else I need to grab? And I'm not feeling a crystal, so I'm about to stop, and then I'm feeling that energy again, and then I reach down and grab Isis, and I'm kind of realizing I have a pyramid and Isis here. So I'm not feeling yet an Egyptian connection, so I don't know if that's what this means, or if I'm just randomly grabbing Isis and a pyramid. And it has nothing to do with the lifetime being from Egypt. Okay, so I'm going to surround you in some energy, specifically the throat. Okay. Throat chakra feels really tired. It's like it starts to spin and then it kind of gives out. And this is because of like stuff like around it that's just like contained there and containing it at the same time. And this thought form too. Okay, so this thought form, this will help you focus on releasing it also. It'll help you focus on, it'll help you focus on draining these emotions that are connected to this thought form, this lack of expression, suppression kind of thought form. So it's in your emotional body, like she said, but it's specifically here at the throat. It's like this is where you started creating it with this energy at the throat chakra. So it's almost like this block in your throat chakra eventually became a thought form. So like a conscious block, but a very underdeveloped, simple programming. But it is a conscious block. So she's just explaining these things. So we do have a video on thought forms. So I don't know if you've seen that or what, but she is she is spending a little bit of time just explaining exactly what she means by these, what she's talking about, and kind of what some of the different ones do. For some reason, this lifetime, it's, I don't know, this isn't coming through. I feel like it wants to. I feel like she wants to give it to me. And I feel like I could receive it too. But there's something, so maybe this will come through in the next reading. If it still needs to. But the main thing that she especially wants that she's concerned about is, you know what these thought forms are, or at least what some of them are, and some of the things that they do, that they tell you or give you a feeling of, and how to begin anyway, how to begin, how to start clearing your energy field of them. Okay. So that is all she has to say. Okay. I feel like she wants to give me her name too. I was feeling that at the very beginning, but I don't know if she's holding off on that for now or if that's another block. I'm not really sure. Okay, I'm actually after I end the reading, I'm actually going to write that down so I remember to add that to the questions just to get her name because I feel like she does want to say that. Okay, and I feel like she wants me to go ahead and put the past life question down. That is kind of important to her to just speak quickly about, but it wouldn't come through this time. Okay, but that is all she has to say for now. So thank you very much. What was your time will tell? I forgot the code name. Thank you very much, Time Will Tell, for allowing me to do this reading for you. And by the way, I did get a feeling a couple of minutes ago, I mean a while ago during the reading, about halfway in, I got a feeling about the code name that part of the reason she gave that code name is that it has to do with this expectation thing. Almost like you don't need to know what will happen in some areas or with some experiences. So this false excitement thing that she was talking about, it's almost like you don't need to have an expectation of it and to let that go, and time will tell what the exact experience is going to be like. Okay, so that really is it. So thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you, and I really hope that this benefits you in some way. Thank you very much. Namaste.